Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing well, taking care of yourself as well as your family. This is our third lecture on the course titled Fluid Mechanics 2. In the previous lecture, we have discussed concept of drag force and lift force. In this lecture, we are going to discuss force exerted by the flowing fluid on the body and expression for drag force and lift force. As we have discussed in the previous lecture, uh, whenever my body is submerged into the liquid, it will be subjected to certain amount of force which will be exerted by the flowing fluid as a fluid resistance. And if I resolve that total force into two components, one component which is acting in direction of motion is known as drag force, and another component which is acting in normal to the direction of motion is known as lift force. So we are going to derive the expression for the drag force and lift force. So uh, we are considering here a liquid which is flowing with the uniform velocity u, and this is my submerged body which will be immersed into the liquid, so which will be submerged into the liquid. So it will be subjected to certain amount of forces which will be exerted by this flowing liquid on this particular body, and we are going to compute all those forces which will be exerted by the fluid on this body. This may not possible to derive the expression or derive the equation for the total force which is exerted by this flowing liquid on the body. So we are going to consider a small elementary area dA on a body, and we are going to evaluate all the forces which are acting on this small elementary area dN. After that, we are going to take its integration to apply that equation for the whole body. So let us P is the pressure and tau is the shear stress. So we are going to compute the all forces which are acting on the small elementary area dA. So the first force which is acting on the small elementary area dA is the pressure force, which will be given by pressure multiplied by area, which is going to act normal to the surface in the direction perpendicular to the surface and going to act with an angle theta with respect to the direction of motion. Now another force which is acting on the small elementary area dA will be the shear force, which is acting tangentially to the this small elementary area dA, and which will be given by shear stress multiplied by area. So here our area is dA, so it will be given by tau multiplied by dN, which is going to act at an angle 90 minus theta. This angle will be 90 minus theta. Now if we want to compute the drag force and lift force, we need to resolve those two components, because we know that the component which is acting in direction of motion is known as drag force, and another component which is acting in normal to the direction of motion is known as lift force. So I need to resolve those two forces in direction of motion as well as in normal to the direction of motion. So I am going to resolve those two components. The first one will be the pressure force. I am going to resolve it into two directions. First will be the horizontal component, that is acting in normal, acting along the direction of motion, that is P dA cos of theta. Another a normal component will be P dA sin of theta. Similarly for the shear force, normal component will be the P dA sin of 90 minus theta, and component in the direction of motion will be a tau dA cos of 90 minus theta. So here sin 90 minus theta can be written as cos of theta, and cos 90 minus theta can be written as sin of theta. So for the drag force, if you want to compute the drag force, which is nothing but the horizontal component of total force which is acting in the direction of motion. So if I want to compute the drag force which is acting on the dA, that will be nothing but the pressure force which is acting in direction of motion plus shear force which is acting in direction of motion. Now we know that the pressure force, component of pressure force which is acting in direction of motion is P dA cos of theta, and the component of pressure shear force which is acting in direction of motion will be tau dA cos of 90 minus theta. So I can write down the equation for the drag force which is acting on the small elementary area dA will be equal to P dA cos of theta plus tau dA sin of theta. Now if I want to compute, this is nothing but the force, drag force, which is acting on small elementary area dA. If I want to compute the drag force for the whole body, in that case I need to take this its integration. So if I take the integration on both sides, on the left hand side I will get total drag, and on the right hand side I will get integration of P dA cos of theta plus tau dA sin of theta. So my final equation will be total drag is equal to integration of P dA cos of theta plus tau dA sin of theta. Now here the first term, which is P dA cos of theta, and integration of P dA cos of theta is known as pressure drag or form drag, and the integration of tau dA sin of theta is known as skin drag or skin friction drag or shear drag. So those are the two terms which is considered in the calculation of drag force. Integration of P dA cos of theta, which is known as pressure or form drag, and integration of tau dA sin of theta, which is known as friction or skin friction drag or shear drag, and whatever the FD, which is known as total drag, which is acting on the body. Now if I'm take an example of plate or the position of the body, if I held a body in the parallel to the direction of motion, as we have discussed during the concept of drag as well. So the whatever the axis of symmetry and the position of axis of symmetry are going to affect the whatever the forces which are acting on the particular body. So if I'm considering this plate which is held parallel to the direction of motion, in that case whatever my theta will be 90° for the pressure force, and whatever for the 90°, if I'm going to calculate pressure force, so cos 90 will become 0, and in that case whatever my total drag will be only because of shear drag. So whatever my total drag, value of total drag will be equal to tau dA sine of 90, that is tau multiplied by dA. So whatever my total drag will be equal to friction drag or shear drag only. Again, in the another case, if I am going to hold this plate in the perpendicular to the direction of motion, in that case my theta will reduce to the 0, and if my theta reduced to the 0, my the sine 0 will become 0, and in that case whatever my total drag will be equal to due to the only pressure force, and whatever my drag due to the skin friction or shear force, that will be reduced to the 0. So how your position is going to how your position is going to affect the value or the magnitude of drag, you can see here by looking those two example. Plate is held parallel to the direction of flow and plate is held normal to the direction of flow. In both the cases your value of drag is going to change. Now another lift force similar to drag force. I can compute my lift force. As we know that vertical component or component which is acting in normal to the direction of motion is going to give me the lift force, and if I am going to take the vertical component of pressure force plus vertical component of shear force, in that case I will get the value of the lift force which will be given by DFL, that is pressure force which is acting on small elementary area, will be equal to minus PdA sine of theta, where this minus sign indicate that this PdA acting in downward direction, plus tau dA sine of 90 minus theta. So sine 90 minus theta can be written as cos of theta. So my total lift force which is acting on the small elementary area dA will be given by minus PdA sine of theta plus tau dA cos of theta. Now for the computation of total lift force which is acting on the element, can be computed by taking the integration on both sides. So here I will get the equation for the lift force, total lift force which is acting on the whole body, will be given by minus integration of PdA sine of theta plus integration of tau dA cos of theta. Now if you look at the both equation for the lift force as well as drag force, we can see here PdA sine of theta, tau dA cos of theta. For the computation of lift force and drag force, we need exact picture of the pressure distribution and shear stress, value of the shear stress at different location. Then and then only we can compute lift force and drag force. Now if you want to compute lift force and drag force, this may not possible to get the proper pressure distribution or shear stress at different locations. So in that case, by using dimensional analysis, we can find a proper equation for the drag force and lift force. So for a body which is moving through a fluid having mass density rho with and moving with the uniform velocity u, the mathematical expression for the drag force and lift force can be written by using dimensional analysis as, for the lift force, for the drag force, it can be written as CdA multiplied by rho u a square upon rho u square upon 2, and for the lift force CL multiplied by A multiplied by rho u square upon 2, where CD and CL both are the coefficient of drag and lift respectively, and both are the dimensionless, where this rho u square by 2 is the dynamic pressure for the undisturbed flow stream, and whatever this A is the projected area of the body or largest projected area of the submerged body, and whatever this u is the uniform velocity of the fluid, you can say that it is a relative velocity with respect to the velocity of the body if body is already moving, and whatever this rho is the density of the fluid. Now, by looking to this equation, one could say that whatever my drag force will be affected by the area of the body, density of the fluid, and whatever the velocity of the fluid or relative velocity of the object and fluid. Those are the equation for the drag and lift. The derivation of those equation we will discuss in the another lecture, in the separate lecture. So after calculating this drag force and lift force, horizontal component and vertical component, we can compute the resultant force by using equation Fr is equal to under root of Fd square plus Fl square, and then I can compute where it is acting, that is theta is equal to tan inverse of Fl upon Fd. So remember those equation for the drag and lift. Whatever the derivation for drag force and lift force we will discuss in the separate lecture, but remember that before that you should solve those numerical whatever I have given you in the previous lecture, which were based on boundary layer theory. So try to solve those two numerical, because our derivation of drag force and lift force is totally based on it. Thank you.